Hey, architecture firm owners and emerging leaders. Get ready for unparalleled insight into the development of a world-class architecture firm and a worldwide organization driving the digital transformation of the design and construction industry. With Build Smart, the podcast that's changing how our profession operates. We share the incredible stories behind innovation in the building industry with my friend and co-host, Patrick McLeamy, FAIA, former CEO of the international architecture firm, HOK.
You know, Yamasaki's office or firm lasted during his lifetime. And when he passed away, I think that was the end of the Yamasaki office. Helmut did not want that. He wanted a firm that would live out and grow beyond the founders.
In Season 1, discover the untold stories behind HOK's meteoric rise, from 150 employees in St. Louis to a powerhouse with over 1,900 staff members and 27 offices worldwide.
You know, they weren't as polite as the Kojima people. That was just boom. And anytime you have a creditor, whether it's Kojima or the bank, that wants their money, unless you can raise money someplace else, you are out of business.
Bankrupt. And hold on tight for Season 2, where Patrick takes us on a new adventure as chairman of Building Smart International, shaping the future of digital transformation in the design, construction, and operation of built assets.
Ian Howell, Ken Harold, and I, Ken was my technical representative from HOK. The three of us took a tour of Europe of 5 cities in 5 days. Very busy time.
Simply follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Smart now and uncover lessons that will transform you and your architecture firm. Hey, architecture firm owners and emerging leaders. Get ready for unparalleled insight into the development of a world-class architecture firm and a worldwide organization driving the digital transformation of the design and construction industry. With Build Smart, the podcast that's changing how our profession operates. We share the incredible stories behind innovation in the building industry with my friend and co-host, Patrick McLeamy, FAIA, former CEO of the international architecture firm, HOK.
You know, Yamasaki's office or firm lasted during his lifetime. And when he passed away, I think that was the end of the Yamasaki office. Helmut did not want that. He wanted a firm that would live out and grow beyond the founders.
In Season 1, discover the untold stories behind HOK's meteoric rise, from 150 employees in St. Louis to a powerhouse with over 1,900 staff members and 27 offices worldwide.
You know, they weren't as polite as the Kojima people. That was just boom. And anytime you have a creditor, whether it's Kojima or the bank, that wants their money, unless you can raise money someplace else, you are out of business.
Bankrupt. And hold on tight for Season 2, where Patrick takes us on a new adventure as chairman of Building Smart International, shaping the future of digital transformation in the design, construction, and operation of built assets.
Ian Howell, Ken Harold, and I, Ken was my technical representative from HOK. The three of us took a tour of Europe of 5 cities in 5 days. Very busy time.
Simply follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Smart now and uncover lessons that will transform you and your architecture firm. My name is Mark R. LePage, and you are listening to EntreArchitect podcast, where each week I speak with inspiring, passionate people who share their knowledge and expertise, all to help you build a better business as a small firm entrepreneur architect. Jeff Ross is the creative force behind CDH, a web design company blending his early passion for design with a robust background consulting for Fortune 500 companies. He now focuses on delivering refined websites for interior designers, home builders, real estate pros, and architects like us. Jeff has forged a career where design meets strategy, crafting online experiences that are both aesthetically pleasing and functionally effective. His innovative approach continues to elevate digital design standards for the AEC industry. Jeff Ross, welcome to EntreArchitect Podcast.
Thank you, Mark. Very happy to be here. Thank you for having me on.
It's great to have you here. Our mutual friend, Kevin from Ranch Mine, connected us. And I think you just finished working with him on his website. Is that correct?
So Kevin and I, we launched his website a few years back, but we're always tinkering on things.
Tinkering with it. All right. So you've been the magic behind his website all along. I got it. All right.
Yes, I can't take all the credit. He has some great ideas too.
Yeah. They do great work. And it's always fun to work with a designer or an architect who has great work to feature on a website, I'm sure.
Absolutely. That makes the job that much easier and that much more fun.
Yeah. So I want to talk about web design and web design specifically for architects, so websites with architects. But before we do that, I want to learn more about you. How did you get started? Before we hit play here, we were talking about that you grew up in New Jersey and not too far from where I grew up, within just a few miles of Paramus in Bergen County. So when did you discover your passion for what you do, and who or what inspired you to do that?
Yeah, well, it's funny because growing up, my mom, she was a home stager. My dad, he was always into art and music. And for me, I seem to never really have that much skill in art or music. I always appreciated good design, good art, good music, but just felt like it wasn't in the cards for me to pursue a career in one of those fields. The only thing that I remember designing well was basketball shoes. When I was supposed to be paying attention in elementary school class, I was drawing basketball shoes. But yeah, I never thought a career like this would open up for me. But once I got to college, we had this one friend who dropped out, I believe, sophomore year to start a web design business. I thought, that's pretty interesting. Seems like it would be an enjoyable profession. You get to work with cool people. And filed that away. Didn't think more about it for at least a couple of years. Ended up taking one independent study in web design in college.
What was your major in college? What were you studying?
That's a good question there. So I ended up taking a unique route in college. So I ended up staying 5 years. I loved school. So I started off being business and economics majors and thought that's what it was going to be. And then I think my junior year, I found sustainability and computer science. So I really enjoyed those classes and was able to stay for a couple extra years to finish studying those. So I ended up with business, economics, and sustainability majors with a minor in management information systems.
All right. Well, put that all together and you have yourself a damn good web designer.
Yeah, it's the natural fit, right?
Yeah. What did you do after school? Where did you go right out of school?
Yeah, so I went into IT consulting and mainly for really large Fortune 500 companies. And I loved the people I worked with, but have to tell you, on day one, I walked in the doors for training and I just knew that I wanted to start my own business.
Yeah, that wasn't for you.
Yeah, and almost immediately I started thinking of, what can I be doing? And I'd say probably a month or two in, found a web design course on YouTube because the web design course in college I took, it was fun, but I was so bad, never thought I could really make anything of it. But once I found this YouTube course from a man named Ran Segal, who's based in Israel, I ended up taking a liking to it and saw ways that I could actually improve my design aesthetic for these websites. So yeah, started taking this course, ended up being able to start creating websites that didn't look atrocious. So started the company CDH. It's short for Confluence Design House. Clients were having a tough time to piece that all together, so wanted to shorten it to something you could easily pronounce. So CDH was born 6 months into that first job. And then I ended up taking a step away from that job at the 1 year point exactly to go all in on CDH and haven't looked back since.
So moonlighted for 6 months, working at night, doing weekend work while you're working full time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you focus primarily now on architects and interior designers, real estate. So the AEC industry, was that the market from the beginning, or did you work with other markets first?
From the beginning, I would say we were narrowly focused in on interior design. And I say I founded this company with my girlfriend at the time. And yeah, we narrowed in on interior design to start, mainly because I was familiar with that kind of world from my mom
Yeah.
in home staging. And also, one thing that's great is if clients provide you with good photography and beautiful images, it makes it that much easier to make a beautiful website. So, made the job a lot more fun in that respect.
And how did you migrate to architects as well? Through the interior design work?
Yep. Yep. So I would say interior design firms that we were working with started saying, oh, we work with these architects. Maybe you should speak with them about doing their website. So it just seemed to naturally unfold that, of course, why wouldn't we make websites for architects? And their work is also beautiful. And it's really fun to work with the variety of styles they work in. So it just started to naturally expand a little bit. Architects, real estate developers, builders. And yeah, I've really enjoyed working with anybody in that kind of real estate world.
And so we had mentioned earlier that Kevin Costello connected us. You had done his website, theranchmine.com. People who listen to this podcast may recognize the firm name or Kevin's name. He's been on the podcast before. He's done training with us before at EntreArchitect Network. The website is beautiful, right? And so do you work with several architects, or Kevin's is your primary architect?
Yeah. So love working with a variety of architects. Definitely work with, I would think, a couple dozen now. But it is funny because working with Kevin at the Ranch Mine, that was really the website that blew everything up. We weren't finding too many clients. I didn't know how to reach out to people. I was just starting to inch into cold outreach, and working with Kevin was really the transformational website that after then really got our wheels moving, and he opened so many doors, and yeah, just really, really a special client to me. So Kevin was great to work with and still is.
When you're working with an architect on their website, there's a balance, right? You want to have a balance between making it beautiful, which every architect wants them to have this beautiful portfolio website. But you also want it to be a tool. You want it to be effective in bringing in new clients and be used as a marketing and sales tool. How do you, when you're designing a website, how do you balance those two things in terms of making it beautiful, making sure that, it hits all those check boxes?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say it's always a balance. You always want to do something unique and something that catches the user's eye and says, wow, I don't think I've seen something like that before. Wow, this is just a really interesting feature. But whenever you're designing a website, in all of our kickoff calls, we always ask the client, what is the action that you want the users to take? Or what are the main actions you want the users to take? And just really want to make sure whenever you're building a website that that is very clear. Like, this is the preferred action. So usually it's that first link that you see in the first screen full. You want to have a prominent link saying, look at our portfolio, or reach out, depending on what you want to prioritize.
Some sort of primary call to action.
Exactly.
So what would you say are the most important pieces of a website that architects need to have?
Yeah, the most important pieces, I would say, is a clear structure of information so that the user naturally can navigate throughout the website. They're not confused where they're going to be landing. So typically what I like to do is just have a little preview of each page on the home page, just maybe a paragraph with a link to that page. So little previews, and then just make that main call to action clear on the home page. But yeah, I would say one other thing that's huge and sounds like a very trivial thing, but choosing a beautiful font can make all the difference in a website. And there's a lot of beautiful free fonts out there. I know sometimes you look up beautiful fonts and see $200 to use a font or $500 for a license. But if you're on Adobe fonts, Google fonts, you can find some beautiful fonts out there that can really transform the appearance.
SEO has always been a very big, important piece of website search engine optimization. Do you feel that SEO is as important today as it has been in the past?
Yeah, I would say so. And the person who actually got me into starting my own web design business, who helped me basically learn the ropes of how to set up a business, was somebody in the SEO world. His name is Nathan Gotch. But yeah, I would say it keeps increasing in importance from what I've seen. And not being an SEO specialist myself, I love working with my SEO partners. And if we're running advanced SEO campaigns, I always say, let's bring in my partner. And Jared Tangier is my partner's name for most of those projects. And he's out in Pennsylvania, but he's a great guy and a whiz with this stuff.
What would you say are some of the pitfalls, some of the struggles that architects have when they're putting together their websites?
Common issues I see with architects' websites include blurry photos or photos taken with a phone. And it can be incredible work, but if you don't hire a photographer who's going to really bring that quality out of the photo, it can really harm the appearance of the website. Also, mismatched styles. So if you took a picture with a certain filter and then apply a different filter for photos on the other section of your website, that can make things kind of feel mismatched.
Consistency in images, high quality images, professional photography.
Yes, for sure. Another common issue that I see is text that stretches all the way across the screen, if it's small text especially. So typically, the rule of thumb that I like to use is to limit it to in between 55 characters and 100 characters. Anything past that, you seem to see users not want to read through all of that, and you may have them bounce off of your website. So that's just a rule of thumb I like to use. And aesthetically, it can look a lot better than having this small text stretching all the way across.
Yeah. How important is it to have lots of text in terms of trying to explain, what you're doing and how you're doing it? Is it better to have that there so it's easily accessible, or short with a link to get to it?
So SEO wise, it's usually good to have more text, I would say. But for appearance and for usability, you don't need to go over the top with the amount of text you're having. And I would say a lot of the highest end designers, architects, builders that I work with, they like to limit the text and kind of break the rules, because you can kind of have an exclusive, luxurious feel if you really minimize the amount of text that you're using on your website. So it does depend on the aesthetic you're going for as well and the feeling.
Let's take a quick break to say thank you to our sponsors for their support of this episode. Gain lessons learned and credits earned with Arcademy, ARCAT's continuing education program. Listen to popular episodes of the Detailed podcast and earn AIA-approved HSW credits. Yes, you heard that right, HSW credits for episodes of Detailed podcast. Listen to an episode, check out the learning objectives, and use what you've learned while listening to take the course. The program is free, it's simple, and can be found at arcat.com under the Resources tab. Or just go to arcat.com/arcademy. That's arcat.com/arcatemy. That's arcat.com/arcademy. Please visit our sponsors today and thank them. Thank them for supporting you, the EntreArchitect community. One of the questions that I've been asking everybody that comes on to this podcast is how is AI affecting what you're doing? And from your point of view, AI is impacting both the design side as well as the search side. A lot of people are migrating from Google to AI tools to do their initial search. And I don't know how those work in terms of SEO and whether they work the same way or not. But how is AI affecting your business from both the search engine side as well as the design side?
Yeah, I'll speak on the search engine side first. So Nathan Gotch, the SEO guru that I was speaking about, who helped me start my own business, I just watched a video of his speaking on this, and he was basically laying out, if I'm not quoting it incorrectly, that the search engine factors, the ranking factors that were in existence until now, have also been incorporated by, if you're on ChatGPT or Search GPT, it's also using those same ranking factors, it appears. But I would refer people to go check out that content themselves as well.
Yeah. Nathan Gotch, you said is his name?
Nathan Gotch, he's an awesome guy. But yeah, for search engines, I would say you're still probably trying to rank the same way, but I love using ChatGPT to help structure my SEO titles and meta descriptions, and sometimes even my heading ones. So I know this is getting a bit granular for people not in the web development space, but in other words, it can help you kind of generate ideas and focus in on keywords. And maybe if you were searching or wanting to rank for a certain factor, it'll give you new ideas of how you can quote something or word something. But yeah, in the design world and the development world, it's been a game changer. So in the past, when you see a cool feature like, let's say, horizontal scrolling for a website, and you see custom code the developer used to make the website scroll horizontally. And before, you would say, oh, that's cool, but I don't know how to code. So I'm going to have to go with a regular vertically scrolling website. And now you can run a query into ChatGPT or whatever platform you're using and say, I see a website doing this horizontal scrolling animation. How can I incorporate this on my website? And then it'll provide a JavaScript clip or some code for you to basically insert onto your website to achieve certain cool effects and animations like that. So I'd say, one, it opens the world for what you can do with your website. And two, for times that I was using custom code on websites, it's great to check it. So if you're missing just a semicolon, it can mess up a whole snippet of code. And ChatGPT will be able to find that, or
Right.
really makes that bug checking a lot quicker.
So it makes coding more efficient, more accurate. Troubleshooting, right? If you have something that is coded or somebody has given you code and it's not doing what you want it to do, you could upload that code to ChatGPT or another tool and say, find the mistake. And it will say, here's your mistake. And would you like me to change it and fix it for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I wish I had it in college. It would have saved me many hours. But also, I'm kind of glad that we didn't have it, because I feel like it would be hard to have the impetus to really be thorough with your code and really learn it as well as it should be. So
it's going to be interesting in many areas. So, I mean, we're talking about websites and coding, and it will certainly impact future coders and developers because it'll be so easy. Will they learn code, the fundamentals and the standards of code, as well as somebody like you who has learned it before AI and then applied AI to the work that you do? But I think that's going to happen in so many places, writers and other professions who before AI, they had to put in the craft, they had to put in the practice and the hours to get better at writing. Today, lots of AI tools will write for you. It'll still be your ideas and your concepts or not, which is also possible. But then the AI could write it for you. And so you don't have to learn how to write well, that a tool will write for you.
Yep. Yep. It's almost reminiscent of when texting became popularized and people were saying, oh, now that you're texting in this shorthand language, people are going to be worse at spelling and worse with grammar. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out.
Yeah. What are some of the trends that you're seeing in web design that are new? What are some of the things that you're seeing websites do that they haven't done in the past?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I like following certain web designers to see how they're doing new interactions, new animations. So as I was mentioning before, the horizontal scrolling, I've seen that becoming more popular And basically, scrolling as a whole isn't just a vertical world anymore. Sometimes I'm on websites, especially in that interior design architecture space, where there's more of a creative focus and appreciation for design, as opposed to a manufacturing or legal company where you may be more traditional. People are breaking the rules, and basically the screen will follow your cursor. If you're going diagonally up leftwards, sometimes the screen will just naturally scroll and unveil a section like that. And yeah, I would say that's one new trend I've seen. I would say the use of background colors. We're not really in a world of just white backgrounds anymore. I know for the space I'm in with real estate related firms, I love using rich colors. So browns, navies, dark greens, charcoal colors. So I would say those are a couple of the trends that are standing out to me. Custom cursors. So instead of the regular mouse that you see, you'll see circles that trail. So a lot of creativity being unleashed.
Yeah. What about the future? What about, because technology and the way things are being done is changing at such a rapid pace. Where do you think, in the next 2 or 3 years, which is a long time in technology, what does that look like for web design? What do you think websites will be doing and acting like in the next few years?
That is something I think about a lot. And I don't know. I would say virtual reality could play a role. So once again, when I was talking about how scrolling isn't vertical anymore, if you're in virtual reality, looking at a website, can you design for that and the scrolling patterns or how the website moves around and interacts with that? And one thing that just popped into my mind again, talking on trends, is videos. So a lot of my clients in the past 2 years have been coming to me saying, hey, we'd love to incorporate videos and drone footage. So that's a trend I've been noticing, and that's definitely something that's going to be big in the future.
Yeah. Especially with bandwidth increasing, right? Fiber is rapidly becoming a standard everywhere. And so the restrictions that we once had on bandwidth, and you would put videos in websites prior and they would be choppy and they'd slow things down. You click play and you'd wait, 30 seconds before it would play. Today, with bandwidth increasing, it's so fast that you can have full video, automatically presenting as soon as you open up the website, and it will function pretty well anywhere that it's opened.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're hosting, I'll speak on that a little. If you're hosting a video on your website, using it as what they classify as a background video, that can still take up a significant portion of your bandwidth and be a hard load. It can increase loading times. So what I'm seeing is if you host the video elsewhere on platforms like Vimeo and pull it onto your website, then it can decrease those loading speeds and bandwidth calls. So
rather than loading the video before it plays, it's actually being hosted somewhere else and just recalling the video from your website.
exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, this is very interesting. What does CDH look like in the next 2 or 3 years? What do you want to do with your firm?
Yeah, I would say business has changed pretty significantly in the past 2 years to the point where I'm reaching the limits of what I can handle on my own. And I have had my graphic design partner who anything graphic design or branding related, I'll incorporate in projects. Same with SEO, same with harder core development. So when I'm needing to connect different platforms like databases to a website, I have partners for that. But I would say if I'm going to continue scaling CDH, it would be onboarding somebody else who I trust to build the websites with me. But yeah, people ask me if I want to venture out into other industries. And I love focusing in on the real estate world. It's so interesting. The clients you get to work with have some incredible styles and designs, and it inspires you to try new things in web design. And it's fun to kind of create a unique site that matches the style of the client you're working with. So I don't see myself escaping this industry. I want to stay with it. Yeah. So we'll see. I would have a hard time taking a step back from designing these sites myself too. So yeah, hopefully just continuing to work with some incredible clients, and very grateful. I've worked with very thoughtful and kind clients throughout. Really can't say anything bad about the people I've worked with so far. So hopefully that pattern continues. But
What are your thoughts on social media? Social media is becoming more advanced, a little more sophisticated. Are you interested in pursuing some of that in terms of creating content for social media? And how important is social media in terms of the website and integrating social media with the website itself?
yeah, well, first I'll say it's definitely important. And there's clients out there where that's the main driver of the traffic to their website if they have a significant following.
Kevin's a great example of that. Kevin's very involved in Instagram, and he's actually talked about Instagram on this podcast before.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have other clients. One that comes to mind is an interior designer named Diana Pridalna, who's out in California and has a really beautiful style of work in the wabi-sabi space. But she has 1 to 200,000 followers, and almost all of her traffic, I would guess, would come from there. But yeah, I would say I do have interest in the social media world. And of course, I don't know how you all are, but I neglect my social media presence more than I should because I'm focused on building websites.
Yeah.
But it would be something to capitalize on. And it is another service that I would love to provide to my clients by connecting them with partners. Whether I bring that in-house or not in the future is another question. If I meet the right person, I would love to be able to do that. And after we launch a website or during the process, be able to help out with social media. But yeah, it's definitely a huge space, and I don't see it really shrinking.
Yeah, no, it's only growing for sure. Yeah. So you're a business owner. You've been a business owner for a long time now. You're talking to many, many architect business owners. Final question is, what is one thing that a small firm architect can do today to build a better business for tomorrow?
Yeah. And I don't want to be self-serving here, but I would say if you really focus on making your website a clean source of credibility for your business, you really can't go wrong. And from my knowledge of the architecture industry, I mean, that's what I would suggest. But simple things like choosing a beautiful font, not making the text stretch all the way across the page, investing in high quality photography and videography. Those would be the top things I would suggest from where I come from.
All right. His name is Jeff Ross. The company is CDH, and the website is cdh.studio. So you can click on cdh.studio and see all of Jeff's work and check it out. So, Jeff, thank you very much for sharing your knowledge today at EntreArchitect Podcast.
Thank you, Mark. This is a lot of fun.
If you liked this episode of EntreArchitect Podcast, please share a link to this episode with a friend. Either just click the share button or highlight the URL and send the link to this episode with a friend, because that's how EntreArchitect has grown to serve thousands more architects just like you throughout the 10 plus years of EntreArchitect. That's how we've grown, architect to architect. So I would love for you to share this episode and all the episodes with one friend every week. We'd love that. And thank you to our sponsors for this episode. We don't have an episode if there's no sponsors. So thank you to our sponsors. Links to those sponsors, which you should go visit and click, and all the resources that we discussed today for this specific episode, they are all available at entrearchitect.com/podcast. Every episode that we've recorded is there, entrearchitect.com/podcast. Go click the links to the sponsors and say hello. EntreArchitect is a member of the Gable Media Podcast Network. You should go visit that at gablemedia.com. That is the next evolution of interactive media and resources for the AEC community. You can now earn continuing education credits for listening to select episodes of this podcast, EntreArchitect Podcast. Yes, AIA CEUs for listening to a podcast. It's there, and many other podcasts are there as well. And you can listen to all of them and get credit. Learn more about our program, Gable Members Program, at the gablemedia.com/members website. That's GABL media.com/members. And if you are a small firm architect, join us today at EntreArchitect Network. That is the worldwide organization for small firm entrepreneur architects. If you own your own architecture firm, you are an entrepreneur architect. You are an EntreArchitect. With weekly live group business coaching, we have business coaching there, monthly live business training with AIA CEUs, 2 a month, so 24 AIA credits per year, including 12 of those are HSWs. We have them in the membership. Business resources, all the resources you need to run your business, special session webinars, mastermind groups, and a thriving community of small firm architects just like you. Hundreds of architects are there waiting for you to join. So we provide the support and encouragement you need to succeed as a small firm architect. I know that you haven't been trained as a business person when you launched your firm. That's what we do. Come learn how to run a business at EntreArchitect Network. And today, you can go join right now for free for 30 days at this link. EntreArchitect.com/30 days will give you free 30 days for membership. Go check it out at EntreArchitect.com/30 days, and I will see you there. Thank you for listening to this episode of EntreArchitect Podcast. My name is Mark R. LePage, and I want you to remember 3 words: love, learn, share. Have a great day.
Imagine earning continuing education credits while doing exactly what you're doing right now. Well, you can. Gable Media has revolutionized the way you earn your continuing education credits with a groundbreaking approach. Forget running around town and scouring the internet for credit-worthy courses. Fulfill your CE requirements effortlessly by listening to engaging podcasts just like the one you're listening to now. Our podcasts are designed to educate, entertain, and inspire, all in a user-friendly environment. But wait, there's more. Architects, Gable Media is also approved as an AIA continuing education services provider. Upon completion, we handle everything, from reporting your hours directly to the AIA to storing your certificates in your personal Gable Media profile for your self-reporting needs. So follow the link in the show notes and start earning your credits in the most innovative and entertaining way possible with Gable Media.
Attention architects and creative minds, get ready to supercharge your brand with Build Your Brand, the podcast that's unlocking the secrets of branding success for creatives. Hey there, it's Mark R. LePage, founder of EntreArchitect, and I'm inviting you to join my friend, architect marketing expert Jeff Eccles at Build Your Brand podcast, where he explores the captivating stories of the world's top brands and transforms their lessons into powerful moves for small firm architects and creatives like you. In Season 1, Jeff shares the thrilling tale of Southwest Airlines, where he dissects their journey to the summit and distills it into strategies tailor-made for you.
It's important to keep in mind that companies like Southwest compete in the real world, just like you, and face real-world challenges, just like you. You might be surprised at how similar those challenges are to the struggles that you grapple with on a day-to-day basis.
Don't miss out on your blueprint for success. Subscribe, tune in, and let's build your brand together.
You may have noticed that the very best brands in the world are also known for having somewhat unique corporate cultures. That's often the glue that holds everything together when they encounter those rough spots.
We don't do it because it inconveniences the passengers to whom we are primarily dedicated, the short haul, frequent flyer.
Follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Your Brand today. Remember, no matter the size, the journey's the same. Your brand's journey to the top starts here.